underneath Yellowstone that if it erupts in a maximum eruption called Category 8, it could literally tear the guts out of the United States of America.
Nestled in the western expanses of the United States lies a dormant behemoth biding its time in a state of restful slumber. For close to 70,000 years, it has experienced intermittent stirrings, but its true awakening has yet to occur. Yet, when this slumbering giant finally stirs, its unleashed power may reverberate across the world like never before. Yellowstone Park, renowned for its awe-inspiring wonders, has perpetually teemed with anticipation, attracting throngs of eager visitors. However, in a recent podcast hosted by the renowned commentator Joe Rogan and featuring Michio Kaku, an unsettling revelation emerged. Michio Kaku suggests that there is a heightened likelihood of an eruption occurring in the near future. Is the Yellowstone volcano truly a formidable threat? Would humanity survive the cataclysmic consequences if it were to erupt? Let us unravel the truth about the ongoing situation within the park. Yellowstone National Park, established as the world's first national park in 1872, holds great historical and cultural significance. Native American communities lived in the region for over 10,000 years, valuing its resources and recognizing its cultural importance long before its official designation. However, hidden beneath the natural splendor of this outdoor haven lies a geological marvel that poses a potential threat: the Yellowstone supervolcano. The Yellowstone supervolcano is a significant source of granitic magma. While the region has experienced sporadic eruptions throughout history, with the most recent occurring around 70,000 years ago at Pitchstone Plateau, it is the possibility of a cataclysmic supereruption that draws attention. A supereruption is defined by its magnitude, scoring 8 or higher on the volcano explosivity index, and its ejection volume surpassing 1,000 cubic kilometers, or 240 cubic miles, enough to engulf the entire state of Texas. The immense power unleashed by these supereruptions surpasses any witnessed in recent times. Beneath the park's surface lies a heated region of molten or semi-molten rock known as magma, forming the foundation of the Yellowstone supervolcano. As magma flows into the magma chamber, situated 6 to 10 kilometers beneath the park, the ground swells, resulting in a noticeable bulge. However, as the magma cools and solidifies, the ground subsides and collapses. Since 1923, volcanology experts have diligently monitored this geological activity. They observed a gradual and consistent growth between 2004 and 2009, with the ground rising by approximately 25 centimeters. However, in 2010, an unexpected shift occurred, and the ground began to recede. Speculation from notable figures like Michio Kaku arises, contemplating whether this period of gradual growth may serve as a forewarning of an impending eruption. He said, underneath Yellowstone, that if it erupts in a maximum eruption called Category 8, and if you literally tear the guts out of the United States of America, instead of having 50 states of the Union, we will only have 30 states of the Union. The potential magnitude of future earthquakes in Yellowstone is a cause for concern. On the morning of June 13, 2022, nature's formidable power was starkly demonstrated when a rare 500-year flood submerged Yellowstone. Within just 24 hours, the northern regions of the park experienced 7.5 to 9.5 inches of rainfall, combined with melting snow. This resulted in widespread devastation, particularly impacting the North Entrance Road connecting Mammoth Hot Springs, Wyoming, and Gardner, Montana, as well as 3 sections of the Northeast Entrance Road between Lamar Valley and Cook City's Silver Gate, Montana. Prompt action by park authorities facilitated the repair of damaged infrastructure, restoration of power within 48 hours, and initiation of recovery efforts, all aimed at reopening the park to its valued visitors. 9 days after the catastrophic flood on June 22, 2022, the southern section of the park reopened, signifying a significant step in the recovery process. Throughout the summer, repairs continued, gradually allowing access to more sections of road and backcountry trails. However, recent underground activity has fueled speculation about the potential seriousness of an imminent eruption. It is noteworthy that the rate of growth of the volcano has reached unprecedented levels in the past decade. Yellowstone experiences a considerable number of earthquakes annually, ranging from 1,000 to 3,000. While most of these earthquakes have magnitudes of 3 or lower, making them difficult to perceive, they serve as crucial indicators of the expanding magma chamber beneath the park. Instances of increased shaking and audible rumbling in the area may suggest a fresh influx of magma into the reservoir. Nonetheless, fully comprehending the precise events occurring within Yellowstone remains a challenge for geologists, as comprehensive observations are yet to be conducted. Studying the ancient history of the volcano offers some insights, as geological data discloses 3 immense eruptions that occurred within the past 2.1 million years. According to experts in volcanology, these eruptions transpire approximately every 600,000 to 800,000 years. The most recent significant event, estimated to have taken place around 631,000 years ago, left traces scattered throughout the park and spanning thousands of kilometers in the surrounding region. Vast amounts of volcanic ash, magma, gas, and debris from each eruption blanketed a substantial portion of the continental United States, reaching as far as Louisiana. Following each of these cataclysmic eruptions, the Yellowstone supervolcano collapsed, submerging the nearby landscape, including trees, mountains, and other natural features, beneath enormous calderas, depressions formed as a result of such events. In actuality, the terms Yellowstone caldera and Yellowstone supervolcano refer to the same thing. An eruption that produces a caldera in Yellowstone would present an immense natural hazard. Scientists assert that the most recent eruption in Yellowstone was 1,000 times more powerful than the notorious 1980 eruption of Mount St. Helens, which devastated vast areas of land in Washington and Oregon, causing the loss of 56 lives and countless animals. The preceding eruption of the Yellowstone supervolcano unleashed a lethal column of scorching ash, molten rock, and toxic gases that reached thousands of meters into the sky, potentially causing a blackout across the continent. Swiftly moving currents of blazing hot rock fragments and gases, known as pyroclastic flows, raced through the area at astonishing speeds, obliterating everything in their path. The once picturesque scenery transformed into a charred expanse as magma erupted from the depths of the earth. The Yellowstone caldera, spanning approximately 65 kilometers in width and 80 kilometers in length and hundreds of meters in depth, still preserves remnants of the most recent eruption, visible in an area referred to as Lava Creek Tuff, where thick layers of volcanic debris remain. In the most probable scenario of an eruption, a minor event would involve the flow of lava and a typical volcanic explosion. Prior to such an eruption, a localized cluster of earthquakes would likely occur as magma ascends to the surface. However, in the case of a much larger super-eruption, there would be more conspicuous warning signs. According to Michio Kaku's predictions, Yellowstone National Park would likely witness significant earthquake activity preceding a volcanic eruption. It could take weeks or even months for these earthquakes to create fractures in the rock above the magma chamber. Now, let us envision the scenario of a super-eruption, which is 1,000 times more potent than a typical volcanic eruption. This catastrophic event would entail the ejection of at least 240 cubic miles of material over a period of several weeks or months. The eruption would be characterized by prolonged volcanic activity within the park, with the lava flows contained within a roughly 40-kilometer circumference. However, only about 1/3 of the expelled material would actually reach the atmosphere. During such an eruption, the primary concern would be volcanic ash, a mixture of fragmented rock and glass. This ash would be forcefully expelled several kilometers into the air, dispersing throughout the country and causing extensive damage. Scientists have determined that an eruption of this magnitude would create an umbrella-shaped cloud expanding in all directions. This discovery surprised researchers, as they had not anticipated the extent of the ash fallout. The Northern Rockies region could potentially be covered in 3 feet of ash, leading to widespread destruction in Wyoming, Idaho, Colorado, Montana, and Utah. The impact would also be felt in the Midwest, where a layer of ash several inches deep would settle, while coastal areas would likely experience less severe consequences. The precise distribution of ash would depend on the season and prevailing weather conditions. Any of these scenarios would result in catastrophic outcomes. Despite ash and debris appearing harmless, just 3 or 4 feet of ash would be enough to cause significant damage to infrastructure, buildings, and transportation systems. Numerous lives would be lost and air travel would be brought to a standstill. Even a small amount of ash could have fatal effects on respiratory health, create hazardous driving conditions, and result in losses to crop and livestock. The entire North American continent would suffer severe repercussions, including the suspension of air travel. Fortunately, scientists have observed that prior earthquake activity in Yellowstone can provide some indication of an impending volcanic eruption. Although there are quite a few earthquakes in the park each year, they are not nearly as strong as the tremors that would be felt prior to an eruption. The park and the surrounding communities would be in such dire danger that evacuations would have to be ordered. Lava flows are dangerous, but unlike the widespread effects of volcanic ash, they would only affect an area of about 80 miles within Yellowstone National Park. In addition to the immediate dangers, a volcanic eruption of this size would have extensive consequences for the Earth's climate. The eruption would release sulfur aerosols, which would reflect sunlight back into the atmosphere, leading to a decrease in temperature. This sudden and significant temperature drop would affect the global climate and negatively impact agriculture and crop production. Regardless of the specific magnitude, a supervolcano eruption like the potential one in Yellowstone would undeniably have profound effects on the planet and its ecosystems. Even though future super eruptions will undoubtedly occur, whether or not Yellowstone will experience one is still up for debate. The magma chamber beneath Yellowstone experiences a gradual waning of volcanic activity due to the combined effects of rising heat from below and relative coldness from the surface. If the temperature in the chamber drops low enough, it could theoretically freeze and harden into granite. In addition, the North American tectonic plate is slowly moving southwest over the volcanic hotspot beneath Yellowstone, which means that the hotspot is gradually shifting to the northeast. Given enough time, the hotspot will move away from Yellowstone's location, potentially resulting in the end of the supervolcano's activity. Another supervolcano could form to the northeast, but this would require the hotspot to heat up and melt the crust, which could take 1 million years or longer. As a relatively new species, the concept of 1 million years is extremely challenging to us. But geological processes occur on timescales that are incomprehensible to humans, and our planet has been around for a very long time. Will Yellowstone erupt in our lifetime? Tell us in the comments below.